When it comes to value for money, new guns are not almost automatically the way to go. Here are some used shotguns that are great to begin with, and that can be had secondhand for a much better price without you having to fear that they have lost anything that made them great. Check that the shotgun you're looking at has reasonable care, because then it will last easily for generations. And do not worry, there are a ton of them out there that have just gotten that kind of care. They may be even more than 100 years old, but they still have a lot of useful life left in them. With that being said, let's get right to it. Number 5. MIROKU Over-Under. The Japanese gun maker MIROKU and Browning made an agreement that stopped MIROKU from selling guns in the U.S. from the 70s onward. Before that, starting in 1959, you could find MIROKUs in the U.S. without a problem. Often they came under the name of Charles Daly, and some are even dubbed My Luck, an attempt by MIROKU to please the American market. Still, there are MIROKU guns made and sold under the MIROKU names in many countries in the world, and they're very popular. For the guns, the designers use the Browning Superposed as the starting point, and a lot of them are still very Browning-like. As guns, they are excellently made, and they come decorated with deep hand engraving. That's even better than that you get to see on lower-grade Satoris. However, and luckily for you, they are and remain undervalued. That applies to both the 20 and the 12-gauge variants. They're actually nice guns. Being made with a great fit and finish, they have a blue book listing of $1,500 when they're in a 100% and unfired condition. The fitting is still done by hand, as is the regulation of the barrels. Here, skilled workers are showing their talent and speed. That is the gun-making work you are looking for at an affordable price. Number 4. Browning BSS. The Browning BSS, with BSS standing for Browning Side by Side, is another gun from MIROKU that is worth looking out for. They were made from 1971 to 1987. You can find them in 12 and 20 gauge. There is a sporter and field version available. The field model features a fat beaver tail forend. Also, it comes with a pistol grip and gloss finish. The sporter model features a slimmer forend and a straight grip. Also, it sports a matte finish that looks like it has been made from oil. When it comes to the field models, some of them were made with 30-inch barrels. They're just great when as side-by-side sporting clay guns. Both models come with a good fit and finish. For the latter ones, the parts were made in Japan. Final assembly was done in Korea. There's no noticeable difference in quality. There are also Grade 2 BSS on the market. They come with a silvered receiver and gauge scenes. When you're looking for one today, the 12-gauge model is a more affordable way to go. You can get one for $1,500. For the 20-gauge models, you have to cash out up to $2,500. Given the quality of the guns, that is still a good price. Number 3. 12-gauge British and European BOXLOCKS. When it comes to bird hunting, small bores are the trend right now, and that has a good reason. No one wants to schlep a 12-gauge round when a smaller and lighter one will do. This is why 12-gauge shotguns are not loved that much. However, there are some that do not weigh you down as much as you would expect. Also, as being a 12-gauge is not what shooters are looking for, there's less demand for them, meaning they go for lower prices. If you want to go for a British or European box-lock gun, do not be shy. Take a good look, and even more, take it into your hands, get a feel for them. As doubles, they weigh between 6 and 8 pounds. Also, they are trim enough to carry comfortably. Think about that, a 12-gauge is actually a really good bird gun. The problem is just the weight. And with these examples, it is no problem at all. It's easy to carry them, and if you want to, you can load them down to the level of a 28-gauge for woodcock, or go with a 1 1/4 ounce payloads if you want to take longer shots at pheasants. These guns are also nothing special. They are not great collector items, and there's nothing driving their prices to unreasonable levels. Instead, they're made like many others, and as such, they also turn up for sale quite regularly. Do not think too much about their year either. You can easily get a 1939 William Ford BOXLOCK at any auction, that with two 12-gauge 28-inch barrels. Weighs only 6 pounds and 14 ounces. Often, they even come with their fitted leather luggage cases. And what is best? The price is much lower than a new Satori or Beretta 686. When it comes to BOXLOCKS guns, All their lock work sits right inside the box of the action. This has always been much easier to produce than side locks, leading to them being very durable while also being very affordable at the same time. Number 2. ITHACA NID. ITHACA had a good runner, the Flues model. This was replaced by the new ITHACA double starting in the 1920s. It was designed to handle even the most powerful ammo of the time. For 1925, the NID, as much state-of-the-art as you could want. It had the same fast lock time of the Flues, but featured a stronger frame and stout coil springs, as well as a durable rotary bolt. In fact, these guns were so tough that they convinced Winchester to introduce a new type of ammo. This was a real Magnum cartridge with 3.5 inches in 10 gauge. They approached ITHACA to build a gun for it, which led to the development of the 10 gauge NID. Only around 1,000 of them were made, and they still turn up for sale from time to time. However, you do not have to go the 10 gauge route. NIDs were made in many gauges and grades until the production finally ceased in 1948. Some of them came with an excessive drop in the stock, as was common with older guns in America. Others came with fairly modern dimensions so that they are easier to shoot for the hunters of today. Many of them were just field-grade guns. They can be found for some $800 in 12 gauge. However, as the bore size decreases, the prices go up in turn. Number 1. Early Beretta over-unders. A used Beretta, if you take some time to look around, can be had for less than $1,000. When it comes to it, the Beretta 680 and 690 are some of the most popular over-unders in the world. And when you think about it, that is good reasons. The action is low profile. That makes these guns very natural to point, and they will just go on shooting forever. Before the 680 series, Beretta made some precursors that are different in details but similar overall. Those started from the 1950s on. There were the S series, the BL series, and the Snipe series, among others. All of them share the same action design that comes with 2 pins that are protruding from the breech face and fit into holes between the top and bottom barrels. As the gun wears, the pins seat deeper, and without a hinge pin, the receiver comes with a very low profile. That lets you point the gun more naturally. Also, these guns are great, weigh little, and practically bomb-proof. Some of them come with ejectors, others with extractors, and given their price tag, they are definitely worth their money. There you have it, guys. Some great shotguns that give you a very good value for their money. With them, you do not get only a nice gun for a good price, but also a piece of history without turning it into a collector's item with the according price hikes. Instead, these are guns to be taken into the field and used as real workhorses. They still have a lot of useful life left in them, and given the right care, will not let you down. If you own one of them, let us know in the comments and tell us how it worked out for you. If you think we forgot a great gun, also tell us in the comments, and let us know what makes it so great.